Hey, beautiful people, it's your girl Mo, and welcome back, or welcome for the first timers checking in. This is the Mo Balance Podcast where we discuss topics supporting a more balanced life, and I'm your girl Mo, of course. And today we are just going to kick it with each other, just vibe out, and discuss different things that have been brought to my attention. So, a lot of my followers have been sending me some feedback, and I really appreciate the feedback because feedback is what helps me deliver important information to you, my lovely listeners. I need to know what you would like to hear, or if there's something that you want to hear more of or less of. So before we dive in, I just want to make sure that everybody's doing good. We have to do our check-in. I'm doing great. The weather is getting much better on my end, and hopefully going forward I'll be able to be vacationing soon. So I am looking forward to that because it's important for us to have that work-life balance, and that is something that I myself struggle with a lot. I just don't know when enough is enough, or when to cut back, or when to not pick up extra hours. It's just become like second nature to me. But that doesn't mean that it has to be that way anymore. Which leads me to pretty much today's topic. It's more about just balance in your life. I realize that we've been discussing a lot of things with mental health and, relationships and family, but we haven't really touched base on some balance. And I think that is most important. There's a lot of times when we're just pushing through and, working or going to school and studying, or we're just caught up in our day to day, our routine. And that's all we tend to know. It's like wake up, work out, go to work, go to school, cook dinner, clean, hang out with your friends, come back home, whatever your routine is. So I'm happy that everyone is tuning in. Definitely put some Bluetooth on them speakers, okay? Take a seat, get your favorite snack, whatever you have to do to get ready to vibe out, because you definitely don't want to miss any part of today's episode. So, as I was saying previously with balance in our lives, I realized, just speaking for myself, because I have to take my experiences and share them, and of course what you all share with me. But I noticed that for the past maybe 6 months now, I've been working nonstop, 7 days a week. I have, my family to tend to. I have my girls group, my jobs. It's just so many different aspects of my life, and I'm just being pulled here, there, and everywhere else. And one day I just sat down and realized, like, well, when is the last time I did something for me? When is the last time I took time out and just took a nap, or took like a nice long bath or a shower, something, just anything that is pertaining to my self-care. I realized that I was feeling very exhausted and kind of complaining a lot. I've been turning into a complainer, and that's really not me. Or just not having the energy to do the normal things that I enjoy doing. Like, for instance, I love to cook. Love to cook. But lately, it's like I don't feel like cooking anything. I don't feel like thawing out anything. Like, can we order something? Like, it's just been so heavy and so challenging. And that's when I started to realize that a lot of the things that I enjoy doing have been being put on the back burner because I've had to focus more on work. Now, first, I am very blessed to still have a job. There's a lot of people that don't have, a source of income. I am definitely not complaining. I am all for it, and I am super appreciative. But there comes a time in our lives where we have to start to prioritize life a little bit more. I realize the months are passing me by, the weeks, the days, like everything is just happening, and it just feels like a blur is around me. Like I'm just in this big old blob, and I just can't seem to get grounded. It's just from the time my feet hit the ground in the morning to the time I lay down in the bed in the evening, it has just been routine and nonstop. So I decided that it's time for me to cut back in some areas of my life a little bit and start really focusing on things that make me happy, healthy. Because when you're not prioritizing your health, oh, trust me, it will decline. And you feel it, like I said, with no energy. And I'm like, I need some type of energy. I want to get back into the gym. I want to get fit. Time to get the summer body ready. But no, seriously, like, there's no time for anything. I mean, I'm not a big, person that likes to go out or like go to the club and do all these things. That was a phase in my life some years back. But so I don't really feel like I'm missing out on those things, but I feel like I'm missing out on making new memories, like traveling or, staying healthy, staying fit, having a nice balanced diet, Well, let's not call it a diet, a nice balanced lifestyle of how I will be eating and incorporating more healthier options into my daily schedule. So, in order to be present for me within who I am, I have to start to cut back on certain things in my life. Of course, there's certain things that may not be able to cut back on, so please do not go and quit your job or drop out of school or anything like that. I am still encouraging you to be productive, but I'm saying make some time for you. I realize the more we do not prioritize the things that we need, we just start to decline. And then you start to feel so overwhelmed, and it's like everything is happening. You don't know what to do first. Your thoughts are all over the place, or I know mine are all over the place, and it's just like I just can't seem to get a grasp on things. So I'm taking my personal experience and making sure that I am sharing it with my loves over here, because I just want all of us to be balanced, to feel like each and every day you can accomplish one simple goal that you've set. You're not feeling like, oh, I didn't get to do ABC, and I'm only focusing on just the work portion of things. If you have a family, you gotta put your family at the forefront a little bit, enjoy this time with them. If you have children, your children are growing fast. Before you know it, they're up and out the house. Take that time to sit down and do a puzzle, watch a movie, go to the aquarium, whatever it is that they're interested in, just being present in their lives, I mean, if you have pets, taking time out for your pets, just anything in your life, just making sure that work is important and work is necessary. But work isn't the only thing. Not only did I realize that I wasn't eating good, I'm not sleeping good, I'm just a cranky mess, I realized I didn't have time for my spiritual life. And if there's one thing that I did not like being interrupted, it was my spiritual life, because I've been through countless challenges, let me tell you. Okay, we will get there. But if it was not for my spiritual life, I do not know how I would have made it through, especially most recently. I was hit with a lot of life-changing things, and I could only depend on the Most High. That's just what it was. So now I see that everything else that I'm prioritizing first is taking me away from the things that I truly care about the most. Which then what happens? We start to lose ourselves, and we start to not feel that connection anymore. And in some cases, that's when the mental health aspect kicks in, and there's anxiety, there's that overthinking, there's that depression. There's so many different aspects, like so many different avenues to go through when you're not feeling like yourself. So please take my advice and take care of yourself. That's so important. If there's anything that this podcast is about, I will love to discuss any and everything you can think of. But the one thing I will always press on is, self-improvement, self-care. Like, these things are so vital. And you don't really realize it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you out there, just like me, I have that hustler mindset. And let me tell you, the type of ideas I come up with, business strategies, all type of things, like, my mind is like clicking constantly. I always have something that's going on. But I realized, like, yeah, you can be in hustler mode and there's things that you have to do, but you need to rest. Because then it's just overworked. And when you're trying to focus on so many things, nothing is actually getting your full attention. So nothing is actually being sought out the way that it should be, if you really think about it. you need to focus in on certain things. So just sharing this with you with my journey, because I've been putting this in my journal, and the main thing I've been highlighting is definitely prioritizing me. And I'm figuring out exactly what that looks like, and you may have to figure that out as well. But I know for sure it has to involve me cutting back on extra work hours, incorporating a healthier diet, my nutrition, my exercise, and my spiritual life. Those things are there's no way to get around it. There's no there's no excuse anymore. So that's definitely something that we will touch base on a lot more throughout this episode and upcoming episodes too, because I'm always going to slide it in there any way that I can. But let's get to the scheduled program. When I was sorting through a lot of the questions that were coming in, there were some questions that stuck out to me the most. And I was kind of shocked that some of my listeners want to know certain things about me. I didn't think about it that way. So I was just like, they're asking questions like, my favorite music, my favorite food, what do I like to do in my free time? I was like, okay, those are the standard things that you tend to ask people when you want to be able to be relatable with them. But one thing that stuck out to me the most was someone was asking me, like, why? Why are you doing this? Why are you every week putting this information out here? What is it? And at first, I took it a certain type of way. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, what you mean? You trying to come for me? We'd be quick on it. But the more I kind of just focused in on it, I realized that it was deeper than like trying to degrade what I'm doing or trying to make me feel bad or make it seem like I'm just here to gossip or turn on the camera and just talk just to talk. I was like, no, this question is stemming from a different place. So I reached back out to this individual just to get a little bit more clarification on it, because I didn't want to take it the wrong way. And just to sum it all up, they were just asking me, like, what's my story? What's my backstory? Because I definitely have mentioned plenty of times that I can relate to a lot of the different topics that I spoke on, but you haven't really heard from me. So it's only right that I give you what you want, right? So we will definitely be taking time over the next couple of weeks to kind of dive in, because this is something that you can't discuss in just one episode, right? But before we get there, I definitely want for my listeners to be able to relate to me and, connect with me on different levels and just ask me anything, because I am so open. You will be surprised at the answers I will give you. And of course, there's certain things that I've been asked that I don't air, but I am okay with, sharing that when I get that okay from that particular listener. So for the easy things, what I like to do in my free time, I like to cook. I like to write poetry. I enjoy spending time with family, the family that I do have, because I don't have much, but the ones that I do, y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all. And honestly, that's it. And that's when I realized, like, wait, there's so much more to me. I should be doing a lot more. I mean, that's okay, but I definitely need to start to figure out what I like from me, because a lot of the things that I like to do is intertwined with my positions in life, like being a mom, spending time with my kids. Now, I'm not out here trying to knock it. Please don't come for me. I am one of the best mothers out here. Yes, of course, we all should feel that way. But I should have a life outside of being a mom or outside of being a nurse or all these different things. There should still be something that I like to do for me. So like love like cooking and spending time with the family, all these things are, like I said, intertwined with my positions in my life. So that question made me realize that I have to start finding what it is that I like to enjoy doing for Monique. Like, what does Mo want to do for her? And I know one thing is traveling. I have not been able to travel the way that I would love to travel. So I definitely want to take a step back and, start planning and everything. But then that's when you start thinking like, the hustle has to continue because now I have to work so I can pay for these trips, right? These trips aren't coming for free. But that is definitely something that I am going to prioritize in the upcoming year, to travel. And if I have to travel alone, then that's what it has to take, But if somebody wants to be the travel buddy, just let me know. Of course, we all have our loves for music and food and all of these things, but soca is life. Let me tell you, okay? That's just what it is. That's my love from day one, and it will always be. So, yeah, I love my soca. We have some dance hall in there too. I know some R&B, some rap and things like that, but I'll be completely honest, I am not as familiar as I should be, or I could be, let me say, not should, but could be. But hey, we all have our genre of music that we like, and this is what it is. And of course, Caribbean food, that's just what it is. And if you haven't tried any, you should. And if you want some options, I can definitely make a video about that, and we can chat and send messages, because we all have to get more cultural around here, right? It's only right. But yeah, that's my love. No matter what, big up to my Chinese, you already know, done. And let's see, another question that came about that I thought was a little bit different, but I tend to get it a lot, was my locks, and the reason why I started my locks, and do I like having locks, and how do I feel about that. So I actually have, my YouTube video that is all about my locks. So I didn't really want to touch on it too much here. So I want to just say, like, yes, I do love my locks. And yes, there is a reason behind me having locks and when I started my locks. But please check out my YouTube video and you'll get all of that, because I put time and effort into it. So I don't want to take the time here to speak about it as it's already there. But yes, I'll definitely make sure to post it, and I will actually add it onto Instagram as well, so it's accessible. But you definitely want to listen in on this one. It's a good reason. And there was another question about, before I forget, I'm not trying to leave anybody out in the Caribbean. Shout out to all my Caribbeans. I don't want anyone to feel bad, So let me say that first. I don't want anyone to come for me, but you already know it's love all across, everywhere, definitely. My family, everybody, close friends, all those, my Chinese, my Jamaicans, everybody, my Haitians, my Zoos, all of that. So don't nobody feel left out. I was just answering to the question that was asked pertaining to me personally. So yeah, so moving forward, another question that was asked was about my girls group, because I mentioned my mentorship a lot in a previous episode. So I had someone actually reach out and would like more information about my mentoring, and I was surprised because I didn't think anyone would want to, but that's fine. It's definitely an option that will be out soon, so please stay tuned. And if you definitely want to link up before, just send me a DM or you can email me and we can get you set up and going. But yes, it's mainly with my girls group that I have. I've started with them at first because, as much as I love nursing, I love psychology as well. Psychology was my first major when I went to college, so it's always going to be a love of mine. And, I started my girls group a few years back because I definitely saw that there was a need for more encouragement in our young women. And, I didn't really have that growing up, so I felt like this was my opportunity to kind of give it to someone else, be that big sister in your life, or that, aunt figure, however you visualize me, But I definitely take it to heart, and I definitely care deeply about my ladies and everything that they go through. And we speak on any topic that you can think of: family, love life, um, school, anything. A lot that we focused on recently, though, was more of like that self awareness and loving on each other more, loving ourselves, opening up, kind of having a voice, because we tend to just be like a yes man in certain scenarios. So I think that was a big thing. That was something that was very important. And just seeing my ladies just have that voice and loving it, and seeing them go from, being one age and now like graduating high school and moving on with their life. And I just feel so pleased to have been a part of it, even just a little bit, and just giving them that confidence and that boost, and just reminding them, because that's what you need. We need those support systems across the board, because a lot of people are out here and they don't have a family, and they don't have a village, or they don't have anyone they can speak with. So if I can be that for someone, I feel grateful for it. I think that the most important thing to take from this is, no matter our age, no matter our knowledge, no matter what we're going through, a mentor is always helpful. It's someone that specializes in certain areas and definitely can help you, reach your goals, set goals with you. You may not even know what those goals could be. So yes, I love what I do. I will never change it. I'm actually going to add more services, and like, we'll just see where it goes. Let's see where God takes me. Let's see. I know for a fact that I am a nurturer at heart. So in any way possible, I just love to give back. That's just who I am. That's who I've always been, and that's who I will always be going forward. And there's nothing that will change that about me. Because trust me, there's been plenty of times that I'm like, let me just stay to myself, and let me not focus on this or focus on that. And I just can't help it. It's in me. Some things is just you and who you are. It's just in me. So why shelter it? Why do these things, right? So, which brings us down to the question of, why am I here? Why am I doing this? And there's so many levels to it, as you can see in everything that I previously mentioned, the different things that I love and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm here because I needed a voice of my own. I have a tendency to be able to help others and, support you on speaking up for yourself and doing all these things. And there's a lot of times when I kind of cut back, like I take the back seat, and don't really want to be seen or known or anything like that, and just kind of shelter myself. I know that sounds weird. So there was a lot of events that happened in my life over the past 5 years, and I always felt like I just needed to talk about these things. I needed to make other women and men, aware of these things and how they affect us, and how we can avoid certain hurts or certain disappointments. So I just decided that I had to do something, and I started with just journaling at first. And I was like, I love this because I love to journal, but I'm like, it just ends here. It's me and my writing, and then that's it. So how am I really getting this word out? And with my poetry, and then I would like make videos of myself reading my poetry and never post them, like never. I created an entire Instagram page that was just about self-love, and it's actually still there. You can check it out. From time to time, I'm still active on there. It's Mo__balance. And it was a hit at first. I had a lot of people that started following and, really loving the advice that I was putting out there. And I would post like certain videos, and I was like, this is it. This is the start. This is where I'm supposed to be, and it just flopped. But mainly because of me, and I got so busy with so many things that was going on. It was going through COVID, and it was a lot. So I felt like it's not that I couldn't keep up. I definitely could. I will be honest. I may have been a little lazy, and that's not me. I didn't like it, but I just had to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, because I felt like, oh, I'm doing something, but I wasn't doing enough, and I felt like there could be a lot more to it than just me, waking up in the morning and setting a post and telling everybody good morning, have a good day. And it was okay, but it wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. So I had to just take a few years before getting here, and just writing things out and just experiencing things and seeing what everyone around me was going through, and realizing like a lot of people don't speak on certain topics that I would like to discuss. And then there are topics that are being discussed, and it's just in different ways. And some people may not feel relatable to those individuals that are speaking about these things, so they may not tune in. They may not follow them. So I feel like there's enough room in this world, in the podcast world, content creator world, where there's enough people that will be able to come out and be relatable. So that was where I decided, okay, I love a lot of the podcasts that I listen to. I love a lot of the motivational speakers. I love all these things. And I was like, this is what I should try. I need to give this a try. Because if there's one thing about me, I love to talk. If you know me personally, I'm a big jokester, and I'm always like cheese and smile on my face, and I can talk. All right, you want somebody to chat with? Get your girl Mo. Trust me, you won't get tired. So I was like, I need to utilize this. I feel like I can do something with it. And it's not like I just only want to speak on the things that I've been through. I want to speak on the things that I messed up on too. Because I'm not perfect. Trust me. You will see. I'm not perfect. And I don't try to portray to be perfect. I know I'm still learning and growing each and every day as well. But I also know that I've been through a lot of things, and I can help someone in some area. And I love, adolescence and things like that, because I feel like at that age is where we start to go in every direction. So it's important for there to be a voice for that particular age group. A lot of our motivational speakers that I hear, they're speaking to us adults, they're speaking to older generations. We need to capture the adolescent, young adult ages right about now. Like it's important, because this is where it begins, and hopefully we can even catch them before getting to a certain age, because then at that point there's traumas, there's disappointment, there's so many different things that's already been embedded in to each individual. And then it's kind of hard to sit there and kind of wean through it and just work it out. It takes time. It's easy to break a heart, it's easy to disappoint, but the trauma, unfolding the trauma takes longer. So that's where, a lot of my heart and soul goes to. It's very important. But then also, our men, and I see it for myself. I didn't grow up with my father, although I'm a woman, but I've seen a lot of men that are dealing with a lot of things and a lot of challenges because of their upbringing as well. So why can't we have that voice for men, and then also be able to tell men, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, or just allow them to be comfortable, as I mentioned in my episode, last week. These things are important. So I know they're always like, have a niche. And I'm like, I don't. I'm all over the place, because there's so much that needs to be said and so much that needs to be done. And I refuse to put myself in this one box and speak on this one category when there's so many more topics that we have to touch base on. That's just how I see it. So that's a little brief about why I'm here. I'm here because I just want to help. I just want to have a voice. I just want for someone to be able to connect and feel a difference, and have that understanding, or know like, okay, I'm not the only one that's going through this. There's so much more to it, because a lot of times we just sit here and think like it's just me. I see social media, everybody's happy, everybody looks good, hair good, nails good, makeup, all these things. Everybody is so well put together, and then you're looking at yourself in the mirror like, well, what's going on here? What's wrong with me? Why am I not put together? And I'm just here to be that reminder that, trust me, a lot of us aren't put together, but you can put on a front, put on that mask. But a lot of times we have no other choice but to, because it's either a defense mechanism or the only mechanism. That's what we have to do. We have to show up and we have to show out, regardless of how we feel, right? So once again, this is where we can let it all out. You want to talk to me? Let's call in. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss this. You want to be anonymous? No problem. I'm here to hear your voice as much as I want you to hear my voice. I feel like we can all help each other as a community. We can be each other's village. We don't have to sit here and feel alone. We don't have to feel like, well, my family is this or my friends group is that, and it's just me. Because that's how I've always been, just like kind of leeching on to people that I shouldn't have because of the lack of family and needing certain things and looking for it in the wrong areas. So if I can help somebody not make that mistake, then why not talk? It's not just to sit here and just, gossip or anything like that. We don't do those things, but it's just to be open. It's just to be just open-minded and let it flow, and just know that no matter what, I'm pretty sure there is a topic that I could probably relate in something, in some area. There is some way that we can be relatable. So that's why I'm here. That's why I plan on staying here for as long as I can and just being open. So now that I know that, my listeners just want to see a little bit more of me and want to be a little bit more open, then I am definitely opening up and saying, talk to me. Let's do this, let's call in. I will put my phone number up and we can definitely do the interviews that I was speaking on in the beginning of the season, because that's why we're here. And speaking of, there's a really great interview that's going to be coming up in August, and it's definitely geared towards more of like that college student life. So if you're heading to college, or you're in college, or hey, you got kids that are in college, anyway, definitely you don't want to miss this one. This one is going to be great. And plenty other interviews that will be uploaded. So definitely keep checking in and stay tuned when it comes to that. And before I want to wrap up, I just wanted to say that there was one more question that came in, and this particular person was a little nervous about asking because they said that they didn't really hear me mention much about, my spiritual life. And I was like, there's definitely a spiritual life there, and I am very open to speaking about that if that's what you would like to hear. I am definitely there. I'm still learning as well. I'm still on my spiritual journey. I'm not perfect. I'm still making mistakes and things like that, but it's okay. I'm gonna get it right, and that's what matters the most, is that I'm moving forward. So yes, I am spiritual. I do pray, and I do enjoy, having my prayer journal, and just listening to the word. Like, those things are important. That's what motivates me. That's what keeps me going. That's what picks me up on my bad days. That's what makes me smile through the troubles, through the challenges. It's, it's not me. Okay? It's not me. It's definitely not me. And I'm so appreciative to be able to have that outlet and have that understanding and, that support, because it's necessary. And I think we should speak on it more. But that's not something that I want to pressure anyone in, because this is your personal journey, your personal walk. If that is what you choose to do, it will be the best decision for you to make. So anything else that you would like to know, let me know. And to answer that individual's question, yes, I will share my prayer journal. Personal stuff, probably not, but I will show you how I set it up and how it helps me in my day-to-day. So, beautiful people, listen. We touched on a lot of topics today that we can elaborate a lot more on. I want for you all to check in on YouTube and start checking out the YouTube videos, Mo Balance on YouTube. It's important because you will see a lot more of these topics be discussed in other topics as well, and get to know me on a different level. But also continue to check in here on the podcast because we will just be going through with so many different topics. So don't forget about that, and everything will be together. And you can also check out my podcast on my YouTube page. So you get 2 for 1, right? It's the best life. So yes, stay tuned. We will definitely be discussing everything in more detail. I am so excited to share this part of my life with you all, and I'm so happy to know that you're actually interested in knowing these things. I will be open and raw. Let me just tell you that right now. I do not sugarcoat, I do not hide things. So there may be things that you might not like or might not want to hear, but as I said, this is my journey and I'm sharing it. And continue to send in your information so I can share your voice as well. Let me be your voice. Why not, right? So please, definitely check out my podcast and my YouTube page, Mo Balance, and continue to check me out on Instagram at Mo_Balance_, and I am still on the Geneva app at Mo Balance, and you can check me out. You can email me. You can DM me, chat. I will actually add my business phone number so that way if you do want to set up those interviews, it will be there for you. So you can't say you can't get in touch with me because I'm giving you all my personal information. You can find me anyway, you know. I am definitely out there. So it has been a pleasure as always. I truly love and enjoy this every week, and I look forward to making these videos, and I'm, in the podcast, and I look forward to having your feedback and look forward to you tuning in and spending some time with me because there's so many other things that you could be doing. So I am definitely pleased and blessed. Make sure you check back next week and every week, and please be safe. More light.